now. And if you're just switching from maybe a more punitive perspective to learning about their emotional development and what they need to actually build the skills that you want them to show, because it's not just a behavior plan, and it's not just, oh, I have to teach them and then they get it. So I have just taught you how to pet the dog nicely, so now you should know. It doesn't work like that, right? It's not like that. It just isn't. It's not about that. It's about this relationship and what is going on for this kid right now, and how do I help them build their skills in this moment. So we also have a 4-year-old who's very defiant and inattentive. Welcome to the 4-year-old club, because I think many of those 4-year-olds can be. Not to minimize, it's hard. This age is so hard because they don't have the break. If you're new and you haven't watched any of our previous Q&As, go back and do that. They're on, actually I'm going to post some links in the classroom, in the conscious parenting classroom. But we talk a lot about the developmental piece and what that looks like. And so punishment doesn't work with 4-year-olds because they don't have the ability to think about consequences ahead of time or think thoughtfully about the future. Their ability to self-regulate, to control their impulses, to restrain themselves, very, very limited. It just starts to peak out around 3.5, 4, but then it really starts to develop, where the focus of that development, the focus of being able to think and plan and organize and all of those skills that it takes to be able to restrain ourselves in those moments, all of those skills then start there's another big jump in that developmental timeline around 5.5, 6, but sometimes a little later for sensitive kids. So I know that our goals are, we want kids to listen and be kind and all of these things, but know that that's something that is going to be like up and down. And sometimes they're going to be kind, and then you're going to see unkind behaviors. And that doesn't mean that their character is flawed. It just means that development is up and down. It's not a straight line. But how can we reconnect with kids that we've been maybe parenting in a more punitive way? Because little kids, you need to bring them closer. We don't want to send them away. We don't want to use timeouts. No. Don't do that. If you're doing it now, and you say, well, but it works. I see them, they stop. Well, fear works, right? Because kids are going to do whatever they can to survive and please us because they love us and we take care of them. And they're very dependent on us. But what happens when you get 3 and 4-year-olds who are very compliant because they're afraid of what will happen? They're not learning. They're not actually learning skills. They're just afraid. So they're reacting. They're learning to rely on their lower brains to direct their behavior. And then what happens is we get older kids who then don't have the practice at being heard and dealing with their emotions. So they become very impulsive, they become very aggressive, and they resent us the more we try to control and use power over them and punishment and things like that. Doesn't mean we don't have consequences. I'm not going to let you play with this toy because you're not being safe right now, and I have to protect you and your brother. That's so much. That tells your child, like, I want to help you right now. Being very matter of fact. Going in and saying, I told you and you can't do it and I'm putting the toy away now. I gave you 3 chances and look what you've done. That's very different. That's like, what have I done? I'm no good. The other one will still create emotional upset. I'm taking this away because you're not being safe and I have to help you. That doesn't mean that the child's going to be like, oh, thanks, Mom. You were being safe. I got that now. I know I'm going to just be okay. No, they're still going to be like, ah! And they may try to negotiate 1 more turn, 5 more minutes. And you can just be there for them. I know you wanted more time. Right now we're going to get ready for school, for bed. I'm going to give you a minute, though, because you're having a hard time and you need to let all that feeling out. And then where are we doing that? Let them have things that they can squeeze, that they can pound, things like that. Kids need these outlets. They can't just hold all their emotions in and not have a place to let them out.